Hello, hello.
Hello.
Everybody ready? Yeah? Good.
Yeah, make some noise and give us a wave. Woo!
And there's people next door behind us as well, about another few hundred. So should we clap really loud so they can hear us through the wall as well? All right.
Yes. Woo!
Right, well, welcome to Makeover Monday live on Tuesday. It's a bit weird. My whole week is thrown off by a day now. So we're going to take you through kind of a brief introduction of what Makeover Monday is, what we're going to do today. If you do not have if you didn't bring your laptop, just pair up with somebody that has one, hopefully, or make sure it's somebody you don't know. That way you get to meet a new friend. There's also, we've asked some people that we know to spread out amongst the tables to help others, so don't be afraid to ask for help. You can raise your hand. There's people floating around as well. So, shall we get started? Yeah? Okay, good. Well, I guess first, how many people have done Makeover Monday before?
Raise your hand if you've done Makeover Monday.
Okay, so if I ask the opposite question, everybody else's hand should go up? Is that right?
Who's new to Makeover Monday?
Okay, that's good.
That is
all right,
amazing.
So you all have an assignment. You have to do it today, and you have to do it next week, and then see if you like it, and keep going. So.
And maybe before you start, I just want to say thank you all for coming. It's incredible to see so many people here. We had 700 last year. There's 1,200 in this room. There's about 500 in the other room. And it's quite humbling and really amazing. So thank you for spending the afternoon with us.
And I assume this is most people's first session of the conference, so this is a good way to get the blood flowing. There's no alcohol, sorry, but yeah, Sarah drank it all last night, so yeah. The whole city's worth. Okay, all right. So this is Eva Murray. We're going to introduce each other because that way we don't know what the other one's going to say. So she is the head of BI and a Tableau evangelist at Exasol, and also a Tableau Zen Master for 2 years, so going on her 3rd year. She is the chief pain in the ass of Makeover Monday. Oh, outside of work and Makeover Monday, she likes to cycle and swim and run, which makes her a triathlete, right? Hence her Twitter handle, which isn't up here. But her Twitter handle is try my data. Okay.
And this is Andy Kriebel, and I always say he probably doesn't need an introduction. How many of you have, at some point in your Tableau Live, used Andy's blog for help? Yeah, a lot of people. So Andy is a Tableau Zen Master Hall of Famer, which means he's a Zen Master for life. He was a Zen Master right from the start when it first got invented, I suppose. And Andy has been using Tableau for 12 years.
About 42 years, yeah.
12 years, and yeah, he's done incredible things. He started Makeover Monday and is a source of wealth and wisdom when it comes to all things Tableau. He's the head coach of the data school in London, where he trains analysts on Tableau and Alteryx together with some of his colleagues. And yeah, he is, well, I mean, he's taken the pain in the ass thing from me already, so I can't repeat that, but he's always willing to go with my ideas.
Stefana has an idea for you.
He's kind of annoying.
So Stefana here, she's going to be walking around helping. She's from the data school, so thank you, Stefana. All right, so what is Makeover Monday? So it started out as a little project that I was doing on my own. I started writing my blog back in 2009, and the very first blog post I wrote was a makeover. I took a pie chart, made it over, wrote about why I did it and what people could learn from it. So that was a couple thousand blog posts ago. And I've done it just about every week since then as a way for me to learn and to improve. I just wanted to practice. I kind of started using Tableau 2 years prior, and I was looking for an excuse. I was reading Stephen Few's books about data visualization. I wanted to start practicing the things that I was reading in there. Fast forward to about 2013, I think it was, and Emily Kund came up with the idea of the alliteration Makeover Monday, because she happened to notice I did it on Mondays all the time, so thank you to Emily for the alliteration. And I did it by myself up until 2016, and then Andy Cotgrave came up to me at the end of 2015 and said, hey, why don't I do it with you, and let's make it a community project and just see if anybody does it with us. And I think it's worked out okay. And then in 2016, Eva joined me, or 2017, Eva joined me, and we've been doing it together since then. So 3rd year in our partnership together. So the whole idea behind Makeover Monday, as it says on here, it's improve how we visualize and analyze data one chart at a time. The idea is you see a chart, we write about what we think works and what doesn't work in that chart, and then we create an alternative visualization. We try to time box ourselves to an hour. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's the general time frame that I give myself so that I'm not spending too much time. I could just iterate on things really quickly. Because in the end, a data visualization is actually never done. You just have to decide when it's good enough. OK, enough babbling.
All right, so what is Makeover Monday now? Given that Andy's taken you through a bit of the history, it is a global data project. And I've said hundreds of regular participants because while we have thousands of people who've participated, I would say the core of people is in the hundreds, but they churn out viz after viz, week after week. We run it as Makeover Monday, but really we publish the data on a Sunday, typically, except for this week, so that people who can't do it during their work time, they can maybe get started on the weekend. We provide free support and feedback, and given how much this community has grown, we've shaped the way we give feedback and changed it over time from frantically writing tweet after tweet to now turning it into a webinar, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. You can use any tool you like, but as you can see, the Tableau community is extremely passionate and enthusiastic about building vizzes. So I would say about 95% of participants use Tableau. We welcome people with other tools. It gives us something else to look at, and also just a new experience to see how do other people tackle this. But definitely the core of the community is using Tableau. And it's a great networking and learning opportunity, which I hope you will really experience today.
So speaking of the learning and networking, so if you're sitting with somebody you know, why don't you get up and move when we get things started and sit at a table where you don't know anybody and introduce yourself, and then you've got 8 more contacts. So I would highly encourage everybody to do that. So you two need to split up right there. Not naming names, but.
All right, yeah, so the numbers. It's very hard to track this project, but we've started doing it more diligently this year. And this is self-reported. So people submit a visualization every week in a form, so we can get kind of an idea of how many people participate. And this is for 2019. So we have 45 data sets. The next one is published in a few minutes. Over 6,000 visualizations and almost 1,500 individual participants. So this is what people report. There will be probably more who maybe have forgotten to submit or who just don't submit publicly.
So this should go up to about 2,500 at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody here is going to submit.
Exactly. So yeah, so this is what we can really say with confidence, but there have been thousands of visualizations created in the years past as well.
Okay, so how does Makeover Monday work? So Eva talked about, this is kind of the weekly cadence. The data is released on Sundays. Most of the time it's Sundays, occasionally on a Monday, but like she said, we do that because there's a lot of people that, unfortunately, their work doesn't give them time to practice and improve their skills. But there are some teams that they actually get their employees together on a Monday afternoon and do Makeover Monday together as a group exercise. So think about it as like free training. But if your company doesn't do it on a Sunday. It's still fun. So Monday, Tuesday, that's when the majority of the work gets done. So people start critiquing the visualization, writing up blog posts if they do them, submitting their work, et cetera. If you use the hashtag MMVizReview on Twitter, and you sign up for the webinar, Eva and whoever's doing the webinar with her that week will review your visualization and give you feedback about it. If you don't register for the webinar but use the hashtag, they're not going to do it because they just have too many to get through. So it's just a way to kind of cull the list a bit. Yeah,
I've become a bit strict on the hashtag thing. Some people use it just to request feedback in general, but we want to make sure that in the webinar we review the visits from people who are going to watch the webinar. So if someone registers for the webinar ahead of time, that for me is a clear indication they're going to watch it. So that's our way to say, in that webinar, it's 75 minutes, we get through about somewhere between 20 and 30 visits. We can give feedback to the people who are listening, but you can also watch the webinar if you haven't submitted, because you will learn something from what we're talking about as well.
Okay, and then Thursday, hopefully people implement the feedback that they were given and resubmit, and then we start the process. So we alternate weeks. I get the odd weeks, Eva gets the even-numbered weeks, and we pick our favorites for that week. So I just use the Makeover Monday hashtag, and I go through Twitter and find the visualizations that I like, and then we put them together into a blog post every Friday that we tweet out, and usually there's anywhere from, I don't know, 4 to 12, 15. It depends on how much time I have to go through all of them, but there's always lots of great work, and that's probably the most difficult part of the week is picking the favorites. And then it starts all over again on Saturday, so it is a 7-day-week project, but it's okay, it's fun, it's a hobby. So I think are there prizes?
No, because we don't make money from this, so we can't.
So you said you want to offer up prizes, is that what you said? There aren't, but that's a good idea.
I guess.
Well, but we
there's
also
some
don't want it to be
recognition.
we don't want it to be a competition either. So it's more about just getting people practicing and participating. So I would worry about that might bring in too much competitiveness into it, if that makes sense. Good idea, though.
And I think the points we're just about to talk about, they probably will give you enough, hopefully enough encouragement to participate, because you get something out of it. It's not going to be a t-shirt or a book, but hopefully something that's even more valuable. That's your slide.
Oh, okay. What was the slide before? Oh, why should you join us? We did rehearse this, by the way, but I just completely forgot my part. It's like forgetting your lines as an actor. So why should you do Makeover Monday? The reason I really enjoy it is I get to work with a different data set and a different topic every week. To me, I try to look at data is just data. I tried to read a bit of background for the article that it came from to try to get a bit of context, but it's a really good way to learn how to put yourself into a different environment or industry or something every single week. So you get a completely different data set. You have no idea what the topic's going to be. They're very obscure sometimes. I won't mention some of them, but some of them are really fun. But it's also a great way to practice techniques. So we see a lot of people they'll see a chart that they like somewhere, and they want to try to learn how to do that. So they use that data set, or they find a data set that matches up with that, and they use that as a way to practice. I do that all the time. You'll see it in the one I created this week. It's based off of a Workout Wednesday that I did earlier in the year, and I was like, oh, I think this is a good data set to practice that. So I did. So I'd highly recommend that, if there's certain charts or techniques that you want to learn, Makeover Monday is a great way to do that. And then lastly, it's about learning data visualization best practices. You get a lot of that in the feedback webinars, talking about colors or clutter or the text that you write, different things like that. And then also our book goes through a lot of that as well. So if you don't have the book, buy it.
Yeah, and when it comes to best practices, I'm a huge fan of best practices. I know you will see people creating visuals or visualizations that are viz art, and all kudos to them. I personally try and focus, especially in the feedback sessions, but also in the favorites we pick, to have a balance. We do want to acknowledge people's artistic and design skills and their technical skills, but we still want to ensure that we are producing visualizations that communicate information effectively. So if all you do is simple bar charts and line charts, that's just like me, and that's fine, because this is not about fancy stuff. This is about effective communication.
Yeah, but if you want to do fancy, that's okay too.
That's
a lot of
fine.
times you want to do that because it's a way to learn a specific technique or a type of calculation or things like that. This is yours.
This is mine, yes. So Makeover Monday is a great way to build a portfolio of data visualizations. And if you sat here earlier and had a read through the instructions for the while you wait time, we said there, if you don't have a Tableau public profile yet, please register yourself there. And I highly recommend it. There's a couple of little screenshots there of our portfolio. So that is where we upload our visualizations week after week. And after a year, you have 52 examples of the work that you can do with Tableau. So you can really show off your skills, and that helps if you want to find a new job and you want to get noticed. So what I would like to do at this point, because I know there are people in this room who have used this for their own career, is to ask people who have found a new job or who have used Makeover Monday to change their career in some way to please just stand up for a second. So I know there's a few of you, and I just want people to see that you can actually use this for more than just a visual analytics practice. Any more? That's great.
We didn't say you could sit.
You can.
I'm the funniest dad my kids have. Yeah. Okay. Is this me again?
Yes.
Okay. You do this one because I forget what it's about.
Okay. I won't drink then. So Makeover Monday is a great way to learn and get inspired by others. And you have around you, well, 9 other people on your table, so you can learn from them. But also, when you look through the hashtag and you pick a topic and you see that there's maybe 150, 200 different ways of visualizing the same data set, it's really good because you just sit there and you let it roll in. You're like, I like that, and you can use it for yourself as well. And everything you do in your weekly Makeover Monday practice, no matter whether we talk about economical data or something geospatial, the migration path of turkey vultures, which is my favorite data set of all times, you can take the skills you build and the ideas you generate and take that into your day job and apply it. And it's not just about, hey, let's do a makeover at work, but also, what have I learned through that? So it's a safe environment, there's no pressure, no expectations. You do however you like it, but you can transfer that as well.
I've always found it very interesting when we might sometimes just give a data set that just has 5 rows and 2 columns of data, and you're like, surely everybody's just going to create a bar chart. And you'll see literally 200 different things. I'm like, how the hell do people even think of that stuff? So I find it quite fascinating because it gives me lots of ideas and inspiration as well that I can then use going forward.
And we have a gallery on our website where we always have just the favorite vizzes. There's no commentary. It's literally just a gallery of visualizations picked from the favorites. And I use that so much in the presentations I do at work because I need so many examples of good visualizations and before and afters. So I just bring that up and I pick all the pictures, download them, and stick them in my slides. So it's extremely helpful for me as well.
It's here somewhere.
I think Andy's just showing that as well.
So if you
It
just go
sometimes
to the
takes a little while to load because there's so many pictures in there.
Okay. Well, we shall move on then.
Yes, let's move
slow.
on.
Of course, as soon as I click it, it goes back. Anyway, all of the favorites are on that website if you're ever just looking for ideas or inspiration or things like that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll just do them all then. Makeover Monday happens all virtually, and it all happens on Twitter. And I kind of almost want to apologize a little bit for that, because I know not everyone likes Twitter, us included sometimes, but it is a great platform. We've tried to do it in other ways, but Twitter helps you to be seen by people outside of Makeover Monday, even outside the Tableau community, because it is so public. And so you connect virtually, but then once a year at TC, we get together. We also do it at TC Europe, and we also run Makeover Monday sessions at Tableau user groups. And then some of the awesome people in this community run their own Makeover Monday sessions in their own user groups. And it's really great because you know people already. For me, this is always like a family gathering. People come up, I see their name, I recognize them, I can give them a hug, even if I've never met them. So use this networking opportunity because, especially after you've done the viz, you've all got something to talk about. Like, there is an icebreaker already there. And the next one is mine as well.
If it goes. Oh, there
Here we go. Yes. So Makeover Monday helps you make an impact, and we are going to do that in some way today. We have been working with a number of nonprofits over the last few years to help them crowdsource visualizations, because a lot of them have maybe 1 or 2 people, or maybe they have no one to really work with data or who is an expert in data visualization. So we've worked with teams from the United Nations, from Equal Measures, etc. We've had and when I say our, it's really the community's visualizations shown 2 years in a row at the United Nations General Assembly, where world leaders stroll around and they see your viz, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah, maybe press the next one. Okay, I'll get back to that point when we talk about the data set today.
Okay, so some of the resources that we provide for you, of course, there's our book, which we released right around this time, or actually was at TC last year, I think maybe the week before. Hopefully, if you don't have it, it's on sale at the
shop.
No, the DataViz, I think Wiley has a booth, the publishers. If not, you can order on Amazon as well. I think it's really good. just my personal preference. But it's also, it's not a book you read probably start to finish. You can kind of pick and choose and use it more as a reference for when you need ideas. There's over 300, well, there's exactly 300 visualizations in there, which sounds like a bunch of BS, but it is exactly 300, I promise. So it's a great way. I flip through it a lot of times and just, okay, I think I remember seeing something like that, and I'll go to that and read what that person was doing and things like that.
And we didn't write a Tableau how-to book. It really is about the project, but more the outcomes, the lessons learned from it, because we wanted to be really applicable for everyone and not date too quickly. And then Viz Review. So let's talk about that for a minute. It's a weekly webinar. It's typically 75 minutes. And we review, and when I say we, it's Sarah Bartlett and me, and also Charlie Hutchison, he's in the UK. And what we do is we go through the list of people who've used the hashtag, and we give feedback on their viz. And it's about design, the analysis, things like typos. Everything we see, we kind of comment on. And it's really fun because sometimes we just jump into a demo and we're like, hey, let's just actually do this for you, because it helps us show people how quick it can be to fix a couple of things and make the dashboard or the viz look immediately more impactful. And the webinar for us is the easiest way to give constructive feedback, because not only do you hear what we say, but we can, like, the tone of our voice is much more effective over voice rather than a tweet, and we can point things out. I can speak a lot faster than 280 character tweets. So I would recommend, even if you're just curious, to join that webinar. We're going to release new dates soon for the next few weeks of the year. And just join in. It's always recorded, so you don't have to join live. It's typically at 4 p.m. UK time and on a Wednesday. And then, just listen to it, see the feedback, and use that for your own viz.
Yeah, so each Friday, as part of that cycle, we pick our favorites. Some of the things that we look for are at least the things that I look for, I think Eve is the same. Best practices, who's taken the data and done, found some really interesting analysis in it. It needs to be visually appealing, obviously, but that doesn't mean art, like we talked about earlier. I like things that I can understand very quickly. So think about turning your head, looking back. Do I understand what it's trying to tell me right away? And then we collect those together. I think last week I had maybe 12 or 13 favorites, something like that. And I think it's really cool. I love picking the favorites. Everybody seems to be excited when they get chosen. If you're not and you say you are, at least it makes us feel good. So thank you for that. Okay, so how do you participate? Obviously you need data, so that's a good place to start. So we always provide the data set and also a link to the original visualization. It's usually embedded within an article. And in that article, you can read, usually it'll give you a bit of context on why that chart was created in the first place. And it might give you some ideas on how you would want to approach the analysis. Oftentimes, the article itself has some really good analysis written in it, but they didn't actually bring that out into the chart. So maybe you can do that. Let's see. So you analyze and visualize the data, publish it, share it on Twitter with the Makeover Monday hashtag, get the feedback from Viz Review, join the webinar, and rinse and repeat. And don't forget to submit if you want to be on our tracker visualization. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a couple of different places that you'll go throughout the week. The data is on makeovermonday.co.uk/data.
It's not there yet?
It's not there yet, yeah, you don't need to tag the website. There's the submissions page as well, and the webinars. We've tried to make it very easy with the domains. And then our Twitter handles, VizBizBI for Andy, Try My Data for myself, and that's the addresses for our blogs, where we publish a weekly blog critiquing the original and saying what we did and why.
Okay.
So today, like I said, we're doing a collaboration, and this is basically the official pre-launch event. Next year in March, we're going to kick off a 12-month collaboration where every month for 1 week, we will pick a data set about gender equality. I care about it greatly. I know a lot of people in the community do. So we're working with the team at Operation Fistula. They're launching this Visualize Gender Equality campaign. And we're also collaborating with the Tableau Foundation. And yeah, it's all about getting people to help bring this topic to life. And yeah, so, there you go. So we're going to have a full year. We're going to have 12 different topics for that year, 12 different data sets. Hopefully lots of you joining us to be change makers. And we just want to make the world a better place. And what I've seen within the community is that when we bring a bit punchier topics that mean something, rather than just being a fun topic, people really get into it. At the same time, we want to make sure it's not constantly this expectation of doing something super impactful. So we're going to do it once a month so that people can really buckle down if they want to. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. Now, we have 3 people from Operation Fistula in the room. They're wearing white T-shirts with a visualized gender equality on it. So Isabel, Naledi, and Bryony, if you could stand up for a second. I can't spot you.
Back there.
Right there in the back and there. So if you want to, you can obviously ask them during this session or afterwards. Naledi is actually going to speak at 7 p.m. today during the welcome reception at the XSL booth. She's going to do a little 15-minute silent disco session about this. So if you want to hear that, or on Thursday at 4 p.m. as a lightning talk, the same talk again. So if you want to find out a bit more, please do approach them. Okay, so this is today's viz, and it's a long one. I've just chopped it up in 2 so that it fits the screen. You have USB keys on the table. You also can access if you don't have a USB slot or you can't use them, the data will also be available online. We just wanted to make sure we have an option so that not everyone hits the website and the Wi-Fi at the same time. So if you can use USB, we've got the Excel spreadsheet on there, and we have the viz as a PNG, so you have it on your laptop at all times. So feel free to use that. If your table doesn't have a USB key, maybe just ask the next table over and grab it off them. We will give you the password for the Excel. I'm sure you've tried to open that already.
Who's tried to open it already?
Yeah, who's tried that? Oh.
Cheaters.
Excellent. Well, I guess they're inquisitive, it's fine. And I know that the people in the other room, there were even fewer USB keys left, so everyone hopefully can just share those around. Okay. So, what we're going to do.
We'll set a timer for 60 minutes. Feel free to work as a team. You don't have to do it by yourself. If you don't have a computer, find somebody that you can buddy up with. So you found a buddy, I suppose, right? Good. Okay. Oh, the whole team. Wow. Okay. If you want to do it as a whole table, that's fine as well. But yeah, pair up, work on it for about an hour. We'll set a timer. And afterwards, if you have any questions, raise your hand and somebody will get over to help you. Hopefully there's somebody at your table that has been with Makeover Monday for a while. So Sarah and Mira, you need to split up. You two need to split up. And ask them questions as well. Feel free to take pictures, share them, whatever. But we're actually here to get started, is that right? Okay, and we've already lost a lot of people, so thanks for coming by.
So at the end also, so the last half hour we've reserved for people to present their work. And we've always managed to find volunteers. We want to have people present who haven't done that before. So it would be great if you can have a bit of think about whether you want to be on the stage and present your work. There's going to be a little bit of a goodie bag for you as a thank you. So we'd love to see you present some of your work. And I know that some people from Tableau, but also Operation Fistula, are going to come during that time to see what people have created. So it would be great to see some volunteers.
Okay, so on the USB keys, you can unlock it with MM Live at Data 19. We're also, you want to make it live on data.world?
Yes, we're going to do that shortly.
So on data.world, we'll make it public on there as well. And I've also included a link to a file share, so if you can't use USBs, you can't get to data.world, hopefully you can get it from that place. If not, maybe somebody at your table could email it to you. And I guess that's it.
One thing I want to say about the USB key file. So the Excel file, when you unlock it, what I've tried is to then connect it to Tableau. And because it's a password protected sheet, it didn't really work. So just copy and paste the data into Tableau or copy and paste into a fresh Excel spreadsheet. But this is our way of making sure we don't break everything down. So yeah, so we'll put on some music, we'll walk around, we'll also go to the other room to say hi to people. If you have questions, raise your hand. There are people around who can help. And at the end, you can present your work.
Okay, go.
Go.
So inside of the data set, there's like an age group field or something like that. There's one called 15 plus, so that's going to be like the total. Think of that as the total. So it's going to combine some of the other age groups. So make sure you only use one of those. Got it? Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. So think about if you want to present or not. If you're going to present, make sure you publish it up to Tableau Public so that you can present from our computer. We don't want to have to swap computers out. So start thinking about wrapping it up, getting your visualization together, publish it up to Tableau Public. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds up. And if you want to present, we're going to ask for volunteers and raise your hand.
And
Okay.
please don't worry about making it perfect. All we want is whatever you have created in this time. Even if your chart is only half done, what you can do is when you present, just talk us through why you did it, what you want to do with it, or what you want to show with it. So don't worry, it doesn't have to be polished, just wherever you get to. So yeah, make sure you publish to Tableau Public, and then you can present from our computer.
And if we already know you, you're not going to get to present. We want to meet new people. Okay, 15 minutes. All right, pencils down. That means stop.
And please give yourselves a big round of applause.
Well done.
Well done, everyone.
So what we're going to do now is have people come over and present. We have 2 volunteers from the other room who are going to come over and go first. And then if we could get maybe 2 or 3 in here, we're all friendly. We're not going to tear you to shreds. We might after you leave. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it'd be great. Make sure it's up on Tableau Public because we're going to search for your name just to make it easier to present from one computer. So do we have any volunteers from this room? Not you, Steve. You can't present. Good try, though. Yeah, you want to present? Okay, that's 1. 2. And what was her name over there that wanted to present? Yeah? She doesn't want to, so that means she's definitely going to. Okay, so we'll do 4 from here, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, where were the other ones? 3, oh, he's not looking now. And then, well, whoever, you know who I pointed to. We'll see if we have more time. Okay.
So, and you can feel free to come up and we just form a little line to have.
And for the group that's in the other room, if you want to walk over and watch the presentations over here, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise,
There's room, yeah.
There's plenty of room to come sit over here or just stand if you want. So, who from the other room, or the people from the other, okay, why don't you guys come on up.
And while they're making their way up, I do want to remind you there's stickers, visualize gender equality stickers on your table. Feel free to take one and stick it on your laptop or your phone or your badge. I don't have one right now. And the team from Operation Fistula is going to, like at the end of the session, they're just going to stand over there if you have any questions or you just want to say hi and connect with them. So feel free, they're not shy. They're very friendly people. Okay, coming up.
Yeah, just go ahead, I've got it up. It's on? Okay. Do you want to hold this while look for each other?
He's going first because his brother's first.
Okay.
Oh, and when you present, just introduce yourself briefly so people at least know your name. That will be great.
Hopefully it brings you up. This is always the hardest part, is actually finding people. Do you know what your name is on Tableau Public? I can look under my email address. Or you want to just log in? I guess you just click on me here and sign out. And then just try signing in. Anybody know a good joke while we're waiting?
You're full of dad jokes, aren't you?
Yeah, but none of them are appropriate.
Okay.
That's not a bad joke.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'll maybe start then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
why don't you
introduce
introduce
yourself.
yourselves? That would have been a good idea.
We're trying to pull up. I hope it comes up.
Right up.
Okay. Yeah, so we're still trying to pull up the workbook, but I'm Vartika and he's Mark. We are from Phoenix, Microchip Technology, and we're just having some fun here. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, now if you go to there and go to my profile, just click on the image when it comes up. Okay. There you go.
Got it.
And then we can stick it in full screen. Here, I'll do it for you.
Okay. I'm not sure if I knew that this was the size of the crowd that I would have agreed to this, because in my other room,
Keep it all
there's a
the
lot
way.
less people.
Okay. Oh, this one doesn't have our tabs.
Yeah, they're across the top.
Where? Oh, here. Okay. All right. So I did the dashboard. All right. So simple, my just goal was to try and understand the data. Obviously, I'm not going to be competing in Iron Viz, whichever day that is.
Not yet.
So the first one, you can see that there's just a negative correlation between age. I put age into a group. So there was a 15 plus. I excluded the 15 plus. Then I put in the younger as a 1, 2, 3 for the 3 groups. And as you can see, it shows a negative correlation so that the younger people have a higher literacy rate. And then it looked like there wasn't very many people by country, so I stuck to region. You can see it's harder to see here, but the negative correlation carries over by region as well. In some cases, it's a little more negative for the European and northern region. And then I wanted to look at gender. So in both cases, I provide an overall and then break it out by region.
Just keep going.
Okay. So you can see by gender that the males typically have a, so what I did here for the age group, I split it out into 4 age groups. At first I had 10, it was hard to see, so then I made it into 4. It's a little, I don't know if you found this, but it's a little difficult to handle both the percentages, so I found grouping it out into 4 groups made it a little easier to manage, and then I could just do a frequency to see how many people were in each group. So here, this just shows that, in general, the males have a slight edge in terms of the literacy rate over the females. So what I did there is a percent difference from total. And then again, I broke it out by region. I'm not going to go through it, but you can find then there are differences by region.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to hand it over to Vartika.
Hello, everyone. I actually created 3 worksheets, but it's uploaded. No, it's only one.
Oh, yeah, we
Okay.
tried.
It's uploaded only one.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Okay.
That's my fault.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through one then. Okay, so this is the.
Which one do you need? Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So this is just a simple world map of, the entire, so we had the data set of the literacy across all over the world. And as you can see that the Middle East and all of the, except South America, everything is on the, the literacy rate is much lower compared to the South America and parts of Mexico. There's a bit of higher literacy rate, but overall, you can see that there's the literacy rate is much lower. I created the map. Again, same as him, I divided the groups into just 3 age groups, 15 to 24, 25 to 64, and 65 plus. And you can hover over all of these. So there are very slight changes in the map, but it actually displays so you can choose, and that for that age group, the map will show the database, and you can also go over to the gender, and you can choose between male and female, and then you can also choose if you want to go over a particular country. So for example, if you want to go over just Afghanistan and Romania. So yeah, you can just do that. So basically the idea was to, distribute it over the world and then, hover over each of them. I created 2 more, but I think he covered most of it. So it's
Okay, great.
But thank you so much,
very much.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bags for you as well. Okay, and there
So
was
we have a couple of gift bags.
somebody else
for you.
from the other room. Did he make his way over here? No? Does she want to go? Oh, still uploading. Okay. Who else volunteered that has it up on? Okay, you want to come on up?
And just to make sure that we do still finish the session on time, we might have to go just a bit faster if we want to get through those presentations.
Do you have it uploaded to Tableau Public? Okay.
Can you just search this? Daniel H. Wilson.
Yeah. I'll just look at Daniel.h.wilson. Okay. Oh, wait, sorry, forget the mic. Just put it right up to your mouth.
I guess I got nominated to talk. This is also a map, just like the other one. The only difference is we did a map on inequality or inequity. So the red to pink colors show where women have a greater literacy rate, and the countries that are in the shades of blue show where the male literacy rate is higher. And this is showing for year 2018 for 15 to 24-year-olds. Now what's interesting is if we uncheck the 15 to 24-year-old category and check the 65 plus,
Just like the lower left. Oh, screwed it up, sorry. The 65 plus?
Yes.
you'll see the colors shift greatly.
That's very good.
That's what we did.
Very good, nice. That's a great use case for kind of creating your own metric for comparisons. So that's good.
Thank you.
Okay, who are other volunteers in here? Okay. Just a little golf clap. Just go ahead and search for yourself. Oh, okay. Let's just try it like this. Oops. Oh, you didn't make it. You didn't make it visible. Here, let's just log it up. Yeah. You can just sign in under your name. Okay. Yeah, so just go ahead and sign in. Yeah, if you're gonna present, make sure you make it available for other people to see as well. Okay, who are the other people you were gonna go? Okay, and then one more. We've still got 11 minutes, so as long as everybody talks fast, we'll be okay. Oh, it didn't look like it. Doesn't look like it uploaded it. Oh, there we go. Okay.
One of those secretive people who hides it all.
Okay, introduce yourself. I'll bring it up.
So, if you can adjust it, yeah.
Just go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
So it's kind of similar to probably most of y'all try to work on using the map. The only thing that I noticed from the previous image was the image was given to us to fix it. It was trying to show each country on each region. So I thought it was important to use the regions as filter. So I used the technique to use instead of per country, the map to use as a filter. So I can use each region as the filter, so I can see below per country. There you go. Below, I can make the analysis percent of total by country. I use parameter to change by age or gender. And I also can use the filter to use all the years together as a summarization, as an average of all the years, all total. Or I can use specific year if I want to make analysis for a year. So for that, I use the calculations to use filter and all. I wish I have a little more time. My friends here are like suggesting a little timeline. But, you know, it is what it is with 1 hour.
That's
so.
the pressure within an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
well done.
thank you.
So a little tip for your Tableau public profile. So let me show Tiago's profile. If I go back to your profile, I would just
It's kind of
show you-
personal.
That's okay.
Okay.
If you see all these have these blue.
This one doesn't.
Yeah, that one doesn't. Yeah, but if you want people to be able to see your profile, make sure you have all of these unhidden. So.
This is my save on Makeover Monday that I like it, so I can
Oh,
save it
gotcha.
have it
Okay.
in one
Well,
spot.
there's also a favoriting feature you can do as well. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well done. Got a gift bag for you. You got a gift bag for you as well.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Next victim.
someone else to present. And when we talk about this whole 60-minute time limit we give ourselves, it's just because Makeover Monday shouldn't take over your life the way it has taken over our lives. But also there is no expectation that you spend half a day every week building this amazing Iron Fist level dashboard. It's really just to practice, and you can invest as much or as little time as you want. We just want you to know we don't expect you to make this a part-time job for yourself. And speaking of Iron Fist, all 3 Iron Fist contestants were regular Makeover Monday participants in the build-up to it. So they got lots of practice with unfamiliar data sets.
Yeah, just hold it right up to your mouth. Yeah, here, I'll take your computer.
So my name's Christian Felix from Tucson, Arizona. I introduced myself to Jeff Schaefer next door, and I somehow find myself presenting in front of 1,200 people, so not sure if that's happened to anybody else. But I just tried to keep it simple. I just focused on 3 different regional areas. Would have done all 6 or 7 of them if I had time, but I wanted to keep it minimal, highlight the differences between gender in terms of the literacy rate. I did add some interactivity, just a basic highlight. So if you hover over the male or female circles up top, the corresponding piece of the dashboard will update. I did try to add just a circle to identify the lowest literacy rates by gender and by region. And if I would have had more time, I would have added some parameter actions sorting functionality to sort the countries by literacy rate by gender. But that's all it is, just quick regional differences in gender literacy.
That's great.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
So if you can talk quickly, we have time for 2 more people. So you and 1 more.
Because my work
Oh,
computer
we
doesn't
can't.
allow me to do it.
We can't share it then because we can't connect up another laptop. Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
Can't get it
we
on.
have
His
someone
company
else in
doesn't let him post to Tableau Public. How unfortunate is that? Okay. There were 2
Joel,
more
is
then.
you-
There was one over here.
We've got some people already, sorry. We've got
She
some
gone?
people already.
Oh, sorry. There's people here waiting. Oh, there's a queue. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know your?
Joel Gluck or Joel.r.gluck is the profile.
Do you want to introduce yourself while Andy brings it up? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Joel Gluck. I work for a small company and we do, I create visualizations of health and data that we put on our public websites. I just did a really quick and simple. I wanted to highlight regions so that we don't see the full map. I've got filters for gender and age, and also when you hover over, it shows the whole age, split by age. Like everybody else, I noticed a lot of variation between older adults and the younger population as far as literacy, but I really liked what someone showed about as the population gets older, there's more of a disparity between men and women. So,
Well done. Good job. Yeah, thanks for
Thank you.
coming up. One more?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what your Tableau Public profile name is? Okay.
And for everyone else in the room, hopefully you all have managed to publish to Tableau Public or can do that this afternoon. We'd love to see lots of tweets with the hashtag Makeover Monday, hashtag Data19 as well, so we can see that you've all been here participating.
Probably, yes. If you just click.
Hi, everyone. We were a team of 4. It's AK and Joe right here, and the other 2 members are sitting. I can't see them from here. Hi, guys. We're from Kansas City. The rest of them are from New Jersey. Kansas City guys, hi. So what our goal here was to see how the literacy programs in these countries are working. So between the years, how we see improvements. And then if you see a good improvement based on region or something, we could drill down into countries to see which program works best, and someone could go in and say, I don't want to fall behind. How well the program works or what works best for a region. I think Joe can run it from here.
Yeah, so how it works is it's got each region ranked from 1 to 7, and when you click on it, it'll filter this map down to that year and just that region so that you can see basically how the literacy rate is in that region that year compared to the other countries. And then this also breaks it down by gender. So we've got female, male, and then total. And then this is just for total and also all age groups. There's no distinction for age group in this viz, but yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Nice work.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up, but I want to ask you to just stay for the next, well, the last 3 minutes of the session.
Are you going to share yours?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. We'll show you
We'll
ours
just
real quick.
very
So
quickly.
this is Eva's.
It's what I created, focusing on also the difference between male and female literacy rates. So where women have a higher literacy rate, that's pink. Where men do, it's gray. And just, yeah, to take a gender perspective.
And then, like I mentioned earlier, I did mine based off of a Workout Wednesday from the end of last year, like week 52 or something like that. I wanted to practice this nice little spaced out kind of dashboard design. So I thought this was a good data set for practicing that. Right.
Yes, hopefully we'll see many of you joining us virtually, and if you enjoy doing this with other people in the room, maybe you have an opportunity to organize it within your company or within a local Tableau user group. And this is probably a dangerous thing to say in front of so many people, but if you do want us to do like a little video hello, if we can time zone-wise make it happen, we're more than happy to do that, because we can't fly around the world attending Tableau user groups, but if you would like us to do like an intro or opening to a local Makeover Monday session, then we can try our best to arrange that. So please don't be shy to reach out.
And last, I want to thank all the people that walked around and helped other folks. So if we could give them a quick round of applause as well. That's it. That's it. Have a great conference.
Where can people find you, Andy, if they want to talk to you?
Right here.
Okay. And if you want to talk to me, I'll be at the Exasol booth in the expo hall, so find me there. Or just come up now if you want to have a chat.